Were you like me in school and you avoided groups of girls like the plague? Maybe they excluded you, you weren't invited to the party, or they never came to the party, or you were like me, you had to sit alone on the bus, or you ate lunch alone in the bathroom. Did you ever do that? Put a little tear emoji in comments if you hear me on this. The trauma of mean girls and groups and how that may have followed you into adulthood and could be stopping you from actually getting where you need to go in life. Stay tuned. So I'm Lisa Czak, owner, founder, podcast host of Worthy Woman Healing. If you would like a free gift that will help you end anxiety now, look in the comments here. My amazing podcast producer, Steve Demetrius of Audiobook Masters, is going to leave you a link so you can get that, so that every morning, instead of being anxious about the day, you can decide how you want to feel that day. Remembering that you and only you get to decide how you feel. Nobody else gets to decide that for you, and don't let them. This is going to help you overcome that. End anxiety now. So on today's episode, we're talking about the power of a group, but you won't understand the power of a group until you can get over the fear of being in a group, until you can heal the trauma of the mean girls, right? Gym class. Anybody remember gym class? Maybe you were one of the jocks that you didn't have to worry about this. I was always the last one to be picked. I even got spit on in basketball because they assumed I'd be as good as my oldest brother, and I sucked, and they spit on me because I didn't make the winning basket. Drop a little tear emoji in comments if you feel me on this, if you maybe have carried this into adulthood, right? You hear me talking about retreats that I take women on, and you're like, oh, scroll. Turn her off. No, thank you. Been there, done that. I'm an adult now. I don't need to do the mean girl thing, be part of the mean girl group. Or maybe you hear me talking about my twice a month healing group that we do for an entire year that leads up to the retreat. By the way, when you sign up for the retreat that will be happening next year, next winter, you get the healing group for free. So we meet twice a month. Now, I got to tell you, I still am in shock that I actually run groups, because my very first, actually a couple of things come to mind. When I hired a trainer and it was just him and I privately, right? I was doing great. I was confident and I felt confident. And then suddenly he tells me, hey, so I'm going to be going to this gym and I'm going to be their head trainer there. So I'm no longer going to be here. So if you want to continue with me, and at this point I'd lost like 40 pounds with him. So I wanted to keep going. I was doing sit-ups before. I couldn't even do one sit-up. And he said, if you want to stay with me, you're going to have to go over there with me where we're going to train, and you're going to have to be in a group. And I was like, this is like my worst fear. Like, what? You heard what I just told you, right? About the gym class trauma. And now this guy who has gotten me this far wants me to go and do a gym class. I'm like, hell no. At this age, I don't need to put myself through that trauma again. Well, I trusted him, and, somehow he worked his magic and he got me to agree to go. And I said, okay, I'll do one class, and that is it. Well, you're not going to believe what happened to me in that class. So we had to go, my worst nightmare. Go into pairs, find a partner. I'm like, oh, here we go. Gym class trauma. Little teenage Lisa is freaking out right about now. So, of course, they all knew each other. I didn't know anyone, and I didn't have a partner. Again, reliving the gym class trauma all over again. So my partner was the assistant trainer that was there. His name was Arnold. Arnold, if you're watching, I still love you for this. So Arnold was my partner, and we had to take a weighted medicine ball. Now, mind you, balls were never my friend. I couldn't hit a ball. I couldn't catch a ball. I couldn't kick a ball. Yet, I was supposed to sit there in a boat position where you're like lean back like this, right? Hold a 12-pound medicine ball, throw it at Arnold, and then Arnold throws it back to me, and we're supposed to keep going on and on like this. And at this point, I was like, I got to get out of here. Matt was my trainer's name. And I was like, Matt, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. Like, I was freaking out. Now, I didn't have access yet to the healing technique that I teach all of you, where you find where you're feeling it in your body. Put your hand there, allow yourself to feel it, to heal it, right? So I just sat there with my heart racing, shaking, which is not a good state to be in when you're holding a 12-pound medicine ball and have to go back and forth, right? So Arnold whips it at me. I get distracted, of course, because I told you I'm freaking out, and it hits me right in my gut. Now, luckily, I had a lot of fluff on my belly, so it didn't cause damage, but I felt it. I felt like somebody, and I screamed, and it knocked the wind out of me. Well, Matt, my trainer, got so mad at Arnold. He took the ball and he whipped it at him. I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Which was new for me. Nobody ever stood up for me in gym class, which made me love my trainer, Matt, even more, right? Made me trust him even more. I'm like, look at this guy. This has never happened. This is crazy. So it's crazy to me that I went from, okay, I'm only going to do this one class. I will not do another gym class, to actually becoming the fitness director of that same gym and running the 6-week 20-pound challenge. Drop a heart and emojis if you're listening, and maybe you were part of that 6-week challenge at Psychosomatic Fitness that I was in charge of. That not only was I the fitness director, I helped launch the whole thing. I actually shared my story, which helped other women sign up and trust me. So drop a heart in comments if you were part of that program. And I'm saying hi, and I just love all of you still. Like, you impacted me as much as I impacted you. So that is a true circle, right? I thought, I've got this covered. I have whipped that, gym class trauma. It's gone, and I led groups, and I understood the women that were coming into the groups and how they felt, and I thought I had gotten past that, until then I decided to hire a business coach, and it was through someone that I knew, a mutual friend and a client. And so I hired her, and after I paid her and everything, we were on like an initial call. Now, I assumed this was going to be a one-on-one. And she says to me something, she mentioned something about, well, the groups are on these days. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, lady. Groups? I just paid you thousands of dollars. I assumed we were going to be doing this one-on-one. And she's like, no. And so I wanted my money back. I was like, this is bullshit. No, where? And show me in the fine print. Where did it say this? And it took a lot of convincing on her part, to get me to agree to go. And I was like, well, I did already pay, so I might as well go. She's amazing, by the way. Her name is Tatiana Amico. And her mom became one of my first Zoom group clients. So I went, and I was terrified because I assumed everyone else, all the other women were millionaires and had tons of clients and had perfect bookkeeping skills and, were just way above and beyond me. And so I had a lot of stuff I had to heal. And I didn't even realize it until I joined that group. But I got to tell you, the magic that happened in that group, when you realize that you're not alone, that not everyone in there has their shit together, because it didn't even dawn on me until one of the women said it. Lisa, all of us in here are in the same place. If we had it all together, if we were millionaires and had clients on wait lists, we wouldn't be in this group. We wouldn't need a business coach. I was like, oh, like that was eye-opening. So that was really my first experience in a non-gym setting in a Zoom. And I was very uncomfortable still with technology and Zoom. Even that caused me a lot of anxiety. I didn't even have a Zoom account. I had to get a Zoom account. And then she did Voxer. I had to get Voxer. And so that in itself was a lot of anxiety for me, going on a Zoom call and all this technology, completely foreign to me. And the magic that happened in that group, knowing that I wasn't alone, that I had other women who rooted for me when I took this, what I thought was the tiniest step, and they would be celebrating me because I was moving one step further to being that woman that God created me to fulfilling God's purpose. Or if I was down and kind of beating myself up, they would lift me up. And several of those women became my clients when I started my healing practice. And when I started helping women learn how to welcome triggers so that they can heal their mind, body, and soul from trauma and have clarity and peace on next steps to take in their life. That's what we do in the twice a month healing group. And I didn't even realize, like biblically too, if you go on my website, Steve, can you put the Worthy Woman Healing website up there? And you will see all the scripture where God is telling us, you're more powerful together, that where two or more are present, there I am. And it talks, I have scripture in there about friends, right? Friends are so valuable. You are only as sick as your secrets. It is time to stop suffering in silence and join other women who are also on a healing journey, who are being raw, real, vulnerable, and honest with what they are going through in their life, what they have been through in their life. And wherever two or more are gathered, we know God is with us. It says it right there in the Bible. So there is power to group healing. Miracles happen in there. You have one woman sharing, opening up her heart. Suddenly everyone else in the group is saying, yeah, I've experienced that. I'm not the only one. There's such power in knowing that you are not alone in your suffering. You are not alone in your healing. And we meet twice a month. And in between those times, a lot happens, right? And it's important that you have time in between the sessions to practice the healing technique that I teach you, so you can come back into the group and celebrate with the other women. Hey, I actually remembered to do the healing technique in that moment. That trigger didn't derail me anymore. But it's practice. I'm also a personal trainer, right? You don't just get a six-pack abs by doing one sit-up. You have to keep doing it over and over again. You don't run a marathon. You don't go out and run 13.1 miles for a half marathon the first time, right? You practice running a little bit every day. And that is what we do in Worthy Woman Healing Group. Join today and tell yourself, I'm going to give this a 3-month commitment minimum, because I know I need time to practice outside of these sessions, and come in and get guidance from the other women on how to actually heal all of these wounds, heal my mind, body, and soul one trigger at a time. You are worth it. And so go ahead. I don't want to get into all of that. Just go ahead and look through my website so that you can see for yourself all the scripture that God tells us the power of a group. And what I'm seeing happening in this healing group, this is the first time I did this. Before, when I did retreats, I knew all the women because they were all private clients of mine, but they didn't know each other. And there was some awkwardness when the first night. And I was like, what's wrong with all of them? They're usually all so boisterous and they all have these big personalities and they're just like sitting there like this, like looking scared to death. And then it hit me, they don't know each other. And they're about to spend 5 days and 4 nights or whatever it was with each other. And suddenly they were having a lot of feelings about that. And so then I decided, especially if I'm going to take women, expect them to get on a plane and go all the way to another country in the Dominican Republic, that I need to have them bond first, be together in a twice a month healing group, all for an entire year. And then it's like they can't wait to see each other. They can't wait to hug each other in person. They can't wait to meet each other in person. And it was completely different when I did this. I just did this, my first international retreat, my first retreat with this model of taking women who have been together in a healing group on this trip, on this retreat. And I couldn't believe it. It's the first retreat where there were no issues at all. Everyone just got along. It was effortless. It was easy. I went home with my cup super full and overflowing because just as a retreat leader, it was so much easier to do it this way. And they already knew each other, meaning like in the group, right? They already saw each other through. A lot happens in a year, right? And I have you think about, okay, where do you want to be when you first start in the group a year from now? Where do you want to be? Like, I want you to think about that. Write it in comments if you want, or just make a note to yourself to give yourself some time and space. And if you had a magic wand, what would you want your life to look like in a year? Where would you be living? What would you be doing? When you wake up in the morning, how would you feel? Who are you waking up with? Where are you waking up? What kind of car are you driving? Are you driving a car? Are you driving a bike to work? Are you walking to work? Are you not working at all? Going through it all. You're in a relationship. If you're in a marriage, what is your marriage like? If you have kids, what's your relationship with your kids like? And I have you go, I don't have it out yet. Maybe in the next newsletter, I'll do this, Steve. I'll have them write out their future self letter. Anyway, start thinking about that, because it's not just like a random group that you're doing twice a month. It's very intentional. We're healing all the things that need healing, because if you want to be a certain place in your life in a year, then you have to work backwards. And that can bring up a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, a lot of unhealed wounds that you need to heal. Again, like I said, I help you welcome triggers. Triggers are gifts, not wrapped up in shiny packages with pretty bows on top kind of gifts, but they are gifts. They are clues to where you still need healing. Once you heal those and you no longer fear triggers, then you're healing your mind, body, and soul from the trauma, like the trauma I talked about in gym class, right? I didn't heal it the first time around. Even becoming a fitness director and running all of those 6-week 20-pound challenge groups, I had to heal it more when I joined Tatiana Miko's business coaching group. And now I'm able to show up in a completely different place leading my groups, because I understand it's scary to go into a group where you know no one and you're like bearing your soul, maybe sharing secrets you never shared before, and you're only as sick as your secrets. And even when you come in feeling good, you will go out of Worthy Woman Healing Group feeling 10 times better. And if you don't believe me, I want you to watch this testimonial of 2 women who have been in Worthy Woman Healing Group for the past year.
Both of you are glowing. You look like you just had a spa day. Cheryl, you look like a completely different person from when you came in here.
I am.
Oh, dang, she does. Holy cow.
Right? Look at her.
She looks completely different.
Completely different.
It looks like she just got that facial.
I know. The glowing facial.
It really does.
I feel completely different. Oh my God, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that, just briefly, how was that experience for you? Elise, since you suggested it, how was it? How are you feeling?
I feel really good. Like, to this time, there was like a tornado in my heart kind of thing, right? Like the swirling. And as I couldn't let go of it. And I even started reaching up. Like, it got to the point where I couldn't release it. And it felt like God had to just be like, you know what, just let me just grab it. But I could feel my arms raising up, like trying to pull it back, trying to bring the tornado back into my heart. After it's already been pulled out, I'm trying to reach for it, even though the rest of my body, like, there's light and vibration, like, I could just feel the glowing everywhere else, but I was still reaching for this tornado. I'm like, just give it back to me, and it's already out. I feel much, much, much better. Like, that's definitely what I needed. Cheryl, you really do look like you're glowing.
I feel totally different. Totally.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel
okay,
like,
this is what
I can see light coming out of your head. Like,
I feel it.
you really look like you're glowing.
When you said, what is your intention? I felt
Vibrant.
to feel complete. Just to feel that I'm complete. It's okay, you're complete. And then when you said, what is your I am at peace.
So what is the most valuable, I always ask this anyway, what is the most valuable thing though about Worthy Woman Healing Group?
For me, it's that every time I feel so different when we finish a session. And it's what keeps me coming back. And now that you practiced this way with me tonight, doing it out loud, I believe that more and more I'll be able to hold it beyond the sessions. I mean, to go from whatever I felt, I don't even want to give the words to it when I came in. I remember the words, I just don't want to say them. To this.
So if you had to describe, how did you feel when you came in and how do you feel now?
When I came in, I felt defeated, a failure, exhausted, down, a little depressed, almost hopeless, really bad. And now I feel bliss, like I feel complete, I feel peace. I feel like if I had just this, what I feel this moment, if I had just this now and then, that would be more than I'd ask for from life. It's that good.
What about you, Elise? What's the most valuable part about coming into these Worthy Woman healing sessions?
I guess learning about myself. And I don't know, because I feel like every time I come into the session, like, it's 100% honesty for me. Like, I can't lie to myself in this group. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like, it's easy to lie to yourself. And it's minor things, like, you don't make up big lies. It's just like, this is how I feel. This is why I'm feeling it. And it's okay to feel this way.
How do you feel when you come into the sessions and then when you leave the sessions?
Like today I came in really good, and now I'm leaving 10 times better than really good. So I'm like, I guess I just came in good today. Like it's been a really great day. And now I just feel like at peace. Like Cheryl, I just feel like before it was just a good day. Now I'm at peace with it.
So join Worthy Woman Healing Group. Click the link below. Steve's going to put it up there for you. And I can't wait to see you heal and get to where you want to go in a year. Remember, you are worth it.